Good afternoon. We're almost through the next week in April. That's just what I'm going to call it, the next week in April. We're almost through it because tomorrow is Friday. So today we're going to talk about all types of action movies that have excessive violence, gore, bloodiness, all the things that I like. Tony Man, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself? It's a little bit of a difficulty getting home, but other than that, I can save that for another time, or I can tell you all about it. But let's follow the thing, and if we have time in the end, I'll let you know.
Okay. Two things to know as we go through these today. The way I have things set up, I do have clips, but the way we have to do this is we kind of have to do reactions to the clips, because if we just play the clips without talking through them, we might get dinged for copyright, which probably going to happen anyways. I'll have to dispute it. But the point is, when the clips are playing, don't feel free to talk about what's in the clip, because
don't worry about it.
That will help with the channel's business. Let's shout out the chat. Let's see who's here. Professor Macabro's here. Says greetings and salutations. Shout out to Professor Macabro. Make sure you're subscribed to him. He also has great horror reviews, and he has the skill of making different masks. I've seen a couple of videos where he fabricated some masks, and he has that skill. So definitely check that out. Double Feature Podcast is in the house. They say, hey, everyone, they just did a great live stream this past Sunday. They compared, contrasted, and talked about Friday and one of them days.
They made me want to watch Friday again.
Yeah, they feel like they're in the same universe. Fominky Latte is in the house. She says, hey.
Hey, Fo.
Her Abby is my favorite color. Well, you can probably tell by how I do stuff on my channel. My favorite color is purple and lavender. But let's get into how we were introduced to these action films. And just to give a little blast from the past, when you see this, hold on, let me put it up there. Why is it not adding to the stage? Come on, there it goes.
There it goes.
When you see that, you know you're in for a good time. And
so most times.
I can't think of a canon movie that I did not have fun watching.
Right.
But I asked you a question. I asked you to send me 3 of the action movies you remember from your childhood that stuck out to you the first time you saw anything that was very bloody or violent in an action movie. And so I have the clips here, and I'm going to play them. You could talk us through how old you were when you saw this clip. And Professor Macabro says canon makers of the best ninja exorcist movie, Ninja 3 The Domination. Oh yeah, I'm gonna write that one down. Hold on, let me get my post-it. And then also Chaz says the old canon logo, you taking me back to my childhood. All of us back to our childhood. But let me let Tony Man start with
right.
When did you see this? How old were you?
I was 11, and we saw this in the movie theater. And this is the one scene that stuck out to me, just because of the way the blood it comes out of his arm while he's stitching himself. Like see how it's running out. It's crazy. See it?
Yeah. It's good practical effects. It really is.
Yeah, that's it. It was like, because what reminded me of it was that when I was, I think, 8 or 9, maybe, I don't remember when it happened, but I was riding my bike and I landed on a bottle of beer on my knee, and I had they put the stitches in, could see all the way to my bone on my knee, and it looked like that. Almost the gash was like that big, and so it just brings me back to that. But yes, it's very I remember everybody in the theater was like, "Ooh," cringing. By the way, if you pause that, by the way, did you, on the side note, when I was looking for this clip, I saw that there's a new Rambo coming on First Blood coming out with Josh Brolin and that dude from Mad Max. What the hell is his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The guy that was in Venom.
Tom. Yeah, him. He's going to be John Rambo. But the trailer I saw, it was shot for shot like this movie, and I was like, "Oh, please don't do that! Please don't do that."
What's the point? Just watch the original. Professor Macabre says, "Nothing is over. You just can't turn it off."
That's right.
Yes.
Have you ever noticed in that when he's doing his rant, the have you ever read the book?
No, I haven't.
In the book, there is no Rambo First Blood Part 2. There's no because he kills himself in.
Oh, all right. And I got your next.
Sorry, I was just going to say when he's saying that nothing is over part. If you look, he says, "Oh, they call us baby killer and other vile stuff." But if you look at his mouth, he's saying shit. That's just as I remember. All right, next one it is.
Here's the next one you picked.
Yes. Okay, Revenge of the Ninja.
Yeah, you got to talk through these a little bit.
I am talking through
this. Okay, when did you see this?
When I was 10.
Also at the theater?
Yes. And this movie was awesome because of the fact that you don't really see ninja movies like particularly like this one. It's the guy with the mask. I was rooting for the guy with the mask until this part happened.
You were rooting for the guy with the mask? I'm sorry.
You can't hear me when I'm talking because I'm.
Yeah, I think the audio was too loud, so that's why I'll just pause it and then I'll play it again.
I was rooting for the guy with the mask. But one of the other best scenes is I think he was crawling around the ventilation system or the light, and he had like the claw, because I always wanted the claws that you put on your hands like to climb walls and stuff. And he like put his hand down, bam, he caught one of the ninjas in the forehead with the claws and killed him. Obviously, but I'm sorry. Good, continue on. Yeah, look at that. And then right in the metal face. That's right. That movie right there. Yeah, that was one of the best. Like when we saw that, me and my cousin were jumping up and down and cheering because we just like it.
Chaz says Revenge of the Ninja with Sho Kozuki. And then Professor says only a ninja can destroy a ninja.
Yep.
The twins say no shot for shot, please. Yeah, because it's like pointless to do that. Ultra violent, I do not like it all. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. This stream is only going to get progressively more violent.
Oh,
I'm warning you right now. We're starting off soft.
Yeah, because remember, I was when I saw movies because my mother strictly did not me watching rated R like action movies. She wanted me to watch Grease and like Chim Chimney, Chim Tree, that kind of shit. But my uncle, when I was like, "Hey, now we're going to the movies and we're going to see some rated R shit," that's what he used to tell me.
That's the type of uncle you gotta have. Like you gotta have that uncle that does that or gives you a sip of beer.
Yeah, I have had that too.
One of my uncles had the Playboy channel, and my aunt and uncle used to go out, leave us to have a slumber party by ourselves, like we weren't going to turn on the Playboy channel and watch it. Like, okay.
My uncle, like my father's brother, that's my uncle, my uncle Tommy. He'd always go, "Don't you guys go up in that attic and look at those porns up there," knowing that damn well we're gonna. It's almost like we had to.
Because he's literally telling you where it's at. Okay, yeah, here's your third pick for even though this counts as a action movie, a science fiction movie, and a horror movie all together.
Yes, and this movie I was 11. I remember this movie because my uncle, when Sarah Connor was making love with what's his name, Reese, he was like, TNA, tits and ass. He kept yelling it really loud, but he didn't talk during this scene.
Wait, in the theater?
Yes.
Your uncle
this
yelled
is the
at
scene
the theater?
that.
Wow.
Yes, but this is one of my favorite scenes right here, just because of what he's doing.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. And the effects are pretty good for that time period. This is.
Yeah. And then, oh yeah, here's the best bit. Although the face afterwards was not that good.
Mm-hmm. Well, nowadays, at the time, I thought it looked pretty good, but
we were like, "Whoa, he's gonna scalpel his eyeball out."
Yeah.
This right here, yeah, and then the way they did that though was awesome. The half cameras, yeah. So imagine seeing this as a child in a movie theater.
Oh yeah. I didn't see Terminator in a movie theater, but I saw Terminator 2 in a movie theater.
This right here. It got like progressively bad right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's still good.
I like it. I think what they skimped on was the eyebrows. I think that's what makes it look a little uncanny valley.
And then this is my favorite scene. This scene made everybody laugh, and I love the flies on this face. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. You got a dead cat in there or what?
If you can pause it on his sponsors, look. Oh, you can't.
Fuck you, asshole.
I can pause it. Hold on, let me go back.
Hey, buddy. You got a dead cat in there or what?
It's just the and what or yes right here.
Possible responses.
Yes,
okay.
yes, no,
yes,
or what?
No, or what? Go away. Please come back later. And then fuck you, asshole.
Fuck you, asshole. And then he had to pick the fuck you, asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was the best.
Fuck you, asshole.
Hey, look at Tony Barnett's Avatar.
Oh, that's right. Go Yanks.
Says the animatronics was wild right there. Yes. Professor Macabro says that's the one negative of old movies getting super upscaled to 8K and plus and ultra. It makes the little flaws of the old effects more noticeable. I agree. Yeah, when they do super HD, like it, yeah, you can see all of the seams. The Terminator, the best of that franchise. Yeah, it's amazing.
But now, hold on, I'm sorry, but now that if it's in 8K, right? Why don't you tell your dirty little secret about the Terminator on VHS? You and your cousins.
Oh, I forgot about that. No, it wasn't my cousins. It was my friends from middle school. We used to have slumber parties, and of course, one of my friends had the Terminator on VHS. In the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger first teleports, or however he gets back in time naked, he's walking, and we used to like rewind it and pause it just to see the full frontal, because Arnold gave us a full frontal for like 4 seconds.
You wanted to see his Arnie.
Yeah, we wanted to see his little Schwarzenegger.
His barbarian.
That's normal stuff for teenagers.
But now in 8K. Whoa.
Oh yeah. Some films are meant to be gritty. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now for the three that I chose of standing out in my mind as a child.
All right.
Now this one Dad took us to see. I'm pretty sure it was at the drive-in and not like the regular movie theater. And it's called Invasion USA. And of course, like Billy Drago and that's not Rutger Hauer. I forgot this gentleman's name. I was confused the two of them, him and Rutger Hauer. But this is not Rutger Hauer, but he looks like Rutger Hauer, I think. He's the guy that was also in Bad Dreams. But both of these guys are always playing bad guys. But check out this scene.
It's been a pleasure doing business with you. The pleasure is all mine.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah, watch this part. No, why did he shoot him in the dick? Just throw her on the window. Like what? Why is it so violent? There's no reason for this.
Yeah, that was just maybe to show his mean streak.
Yeah, and that was what year? 1985. So then I was 9 years old. and my parents thought this is appropriate for children to see.
Yeah.
Professor says you got a good look at his horse and wiener. Marty's in the house. He says, you guys, everyone remembers Bill Paxton as the punk, but no one ever mentions Brian Thompson. That's true because it was two of them. When Arnold was like, your clothes, give them to me.
Laundry day. I still repeat that line to this day. Laundry day. Nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right?
Thank you, Marty. Richard Lynch. I never remember Richard Lynch's name. I just see him as the not Rutger Hauer guy. Richard Lynch. He also plays villains all the time. The villains in Invasion USA are straight up savages. Yes, they were. But you had to show how evil they were so that when they get their comeuppance, it feels good. It feels cathartic because they showed how evil this guy was. Okay, here was my second pick.
Can't have both of us.
He busted her head.
Check this out.
Mirror.
A rocket launcher. Now watch when they show the aftermath of his body. This is another one my dad took us to the drive-in to see. This is Death Wish 3. Yeah, those are his fellow gang members seeing his body in flames after. Look at that! After being shot with a blow. Oh God, I forgot what you call that. My
rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher. Thank you. That deserves a replay. I'm sorry.
Really?
Can't have both of us. Let me.
Oh yeah, check this out. Boom.
Oh, Charles Bronson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those gang members won't mess with them again. They leave that neighborhood alone. Yes, Charles Bronson. The dude. Exactly. Death Wish 3. I'm glad I got to see this on the big screen.
You didn't do Professor Macabre above it.
Oh, did I miss one? Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah. He says, I watched all sorts of violent and inappropriate movies all the time as a kid, and I turned out perfectly normal and well-adjusted. Yep, perfectly normal. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think we turned out okay.
Yeah, I did too.
Tori says, Death Wish. I love Charles Bronson as a kid. Real tough guy. Mm-hmm. And you got his reasoning. The only thing is, I don't know why he was always the target of violence. Look, my Death Wish 3 is like, how come it's always happening to you? That's not right.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first one, it was his wife and his kid. So he had to get him.
And this is my third one, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And when I saw this, before I say this, Marty says, Lady Shasha, why did you pick two canon movies where both bad guys are blown out a window with bazookas? Because I like that. She likes the overkill. Someone should shoot you with a rocket launcher. Yes.
Yeah, never mind beheading. She just nope.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Although, oh goodness, you have to watch that Invasive movie. What happened to the bad guy at the end of Invasive? Very, very good. I'll have to show it to you, Dave.
All right.
Let's see. No, when I saw this as a kid, oh my god, it blew my mind.
Saw this where?
On VHS. We didn't see this in the movie theater.
Wow.
We saw this. We rented this.
You really?
Yeah, I wish I would have seen
this in the movie theater. I saw this.
Look at the artwork done on that hand. Look at that.
Yep.
Oh, this is overkill. And the fact that they're upset that they're out of ammo. Mm-hmm. And then they go, "Well, give this man a hand." Like I just remember this was so wild. We rented this on VHS when I was in 6th grade. Again, for a slumber party. Me and my cousins had a good time. I remember this. We would always rent this in Chud. I don't know why we were so obsessed with Chud.
Man, you lived a good life, but I mean, these movies bring me back to going, because we're from the north, going to Dairy Queen, getting a ice cream. Oh, actually, no, sorry. First, you go to the pool all day or the lake, then you come back, get ice cream, and then you get dressed and you go right to this Showcase Cinemas and you go see Robocop, because that's what we did.
See, what we would do is my parents would hang with my aunt and uncle, and this would be my dad's younger brother and his wife, and they would take us to the video store, let us pick out some movies, and they would get a pizza. And it was cool because the way that my aunt and uncle's house was set up, they had a living room and a den. So the kids would be in the den with the TV, just having our pizza, then our slumber party, laying out on the floor, watching movies. And they would be in the living room, most likely drinking and smoking weed and talking their shit, doing whatever they're doing in the living room.
Yeah.
And it was perfect because we were out of their hair. We didn't bother them because we're at the age, we're like, with my cousins and me, I think we're ranging age from like 9 to 12. Maybe like my youngest cousin, she probably would have only been 7, but still.
Those were the days. I mean, those were the days where when you rented a movie, like you're working at Blockbuster, you got to go, can I see your ID, please? Could you have a child with you? You know, like.
Oh, no, this is before that. This is in the 80s.
Nobody cared.
They didn't check IDs. No. But
like
we were with our
Return
parents
of the Living
anyways.
Dead.
We were with our parents anyways. They just didn't really check through our VHS tapes. Like I told you, the movie that made my mother finally start pre-approving, and that was Black Devil Doll from Hell. That was the one where my mother was like, from now on, you have to show me what you're renting before you rent it. But before that, she didn't check.
Remember, the good was when you took the movie out, though, you would hand them the box and they would give you the VHS tape, but it would be in a clear case.
It wouldn't have a cover. Yeah.
Right. So then you can. Yeah.
It says the villain in Death Wish 3, Gavin O'Harley, was the son of Dan O'Harley, the villain in Halloween 3. Oh, I didn't know that. Tom Baker says The Wild Bunch. Professor says Robocop. Was hoping this would make the list. Oh, absolutely. Usually I would have put the list. I would have put the scene where the guy was like melting and gets hit by a car, but I feel like that one's a well-known part of the movie. And Murphy's initial getting blown to smithereens is not what people typically talk about, but that really stuck out in my mind. Dolphin says that scene was brutal. Yeah. Professor says the melting email freaked me out. Yeah, that's a great scene. Get away from me, man.
Bro, help me.
I have a couple honorable mentions. These are movies that I did not see as a child, and also Tonyman didn't see as a child. We recently saw these on Tubi, but they are from the 80s. So I have a couple scenes to show you. This one is from Terror Squad.
Great movie. Has anybody watched it yet? Oh yeah. Oh no, the poor old guy's hurt.
And Terror Squad is similar to Red Dawn, where it's about teenagers that are in a small American town and they get invaded by terrorists and they have to fight the terrorists. Because clearly the police are no help. Check this out. Look at this. The police being no help.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you not notice in the movie, since you said you finished it, when they were talking about the guy goes, yeah, the terrorist hit an old man and killed him. And the cop's like, yeah, he hit him and killed him. Like he didn't even mention that he ran him over.
Yeah, he didn't mention that he ran him over.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom Baker says, I love the violence of the first Conan, James Earl Jones. Yeah, when he told the lady to jump off, I think it was a lady or was it a man, to jump off the cliff and they did it. And he was like, that's power. Like that always sticks out in my head.
What?
From Conan. I don't know whether that was Conan the Barbarian or Conan the Destroyer. But one of those.
But no, I'm sorry. I was going to say there was a Conan movie, one of the two. Had a girl. She looked like she was like a young girl, but she was like wearing a sheer nightgown or dress. I don't know what one of them was.
She was probably in her 20s, but
Grace Jones was in it.
Yeah, that's Conan. I don't remember if that's the Barbarian. I have to rewatch those because they're like one big long movie in my head. Marty says one of my favorite graphic kill in an action movie is where Robert Ginty in The Exterminator feeds the mafia don into. Yeah, The Exterminator. That's another good one. Do you remember watching The Exterminator?
Yes, I do.
With the guy that he had the blowtorch because his friend
he had a welding mask.
Yeah, and a welding mask. Chaz says, "Have you seen RoboDoc?
No,
the creation of Robo."
Sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
Have you seen RoboDoc, the creation of RoboCop documentary? Very informative. No, but I'll look for it. Double Feature says, haven't seen Terror Squad. And then Fominky Latte says, well, damn.
I told you, Double Feature. Gotta get up on it.
Here's another one that we recently ran into. This one is called Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
You don't look so hot to me. Oh, yeah? You didn't catch this.
You're so tough with your frisbee. He waits.
Except
switch the frisbee with the razor on it. Now watch closely when the dude tries to catch it. What happens to his hand before it even happens to his neck? Look at this. Fingers gone, and then right into the neck. Literally no reason to be this violent, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was great. That was an awesome movie. Yeah, that movie made me laugh the whole time. Because I think didn't we watch that and then we watched Blood Beach?
Possibly. It might have been the same day we watched Blood Beach. Marty says Grace Jones is in Conan the Destroyer. Yes.
Okay.
And if I always said if it had made an X-Men movie in the 80s, Grace Jones would have been Storm. Okay.
She should have been.
Here, the program is going to get a little more janky because I have to remove these scenes before I put up the next group of scenes because it only allowed me to put like 10 scenes in. So just give me a moment to remove some
of the
80 scenes.
I'll talk to the chat.
Okay.
But yeah, Double Feature. I'm still waiting on you to see Terror Squad because you said you were going to see it. You guys haven't seen it yet. You guys, yes, of course I'm familiar with Shogun Assassin. Chaz, I have that movie. I have that one in the 5 Deadly Venoms. I have both of them. Shaw Brothers. Can't go wrong with a Shaw Brothers film. Actually, I also recently got the Crippled Avengers, which would be, I think it's they the 5 Deadly Venoms Part 2, but they called it the Crippled Avengers. And I did find the guillotine, the guillotine, the flying guillotine. Those are like all of those are like movies that go back. Wait, sorry. Oh, myself and Jen done Hard Ticket to Hawaii, our first trash fire right before puppet movie. That. Jen picked. That's all right. And then
wait. When you read,
yeah.
The only reason why I'm asking you to slow down and enunciate a little bit is because it will allow for the subtitles that auto-generate to read more clearly. That's all.
Okay, I'm sorry. I said, oh, myself and Jen done Hard Ticket to Hawaii for our first trash fire right before that fucking puppet movie Jen picked. So hopefully the closed captioning gets the fucking part, okay? I said it twice.
Sorry about that. Every time I add them, they automatically start playing. So
and Tom Baker says, scanners, Michael Ironside exploding. I asked you questions on a live Q&A stream. Very friendly, man. Yeah, no problem. I don't mind answering. I love them and Chaz, and I love the Lone Wolf and Cub mangas they're based on. Yes. Oh, and then compliments. That's what I like most about YouTube, the live streams. Yes, I agree. I get to interact with everyone. And this is, I've been trying to collect all the Dragon Dynasty DVDs released, but some of those are hard to find. Ah, they are hard to find. I know a secret. But yes, they are very hard to find.
You show them about
Like,
how when we used to go to the city to get VCDs.
Oh, yeah, we used to go. I used to go to China. We used to go to Chinatown. We'd go up in New York City, go down Canal Street, and look at the fake purses and everything. But then we would get to Chinatown.
Hey, those are not fake purses. I don't know if you've been on TikTok lately, but it's come out. The Chinese factories have put all the designer brands out on Front Street and showed that they're made in the same place. So if anyone got a bootleg purse, you really didn't get a bootleg purse. You got a real one.
Wait, but understand, you put the fake ones on the table because if they do come to arrest you, they're going to grab the fake ones because you got the real ones in somewhere.
In the back.
That's how they do their things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, all right, but anyways, back to what I was saying. So we went to Chinatown and they had VCDs, video cassette discs, instead of DVDs. And a VCD is basically, a smaller version of a DVD, I guess you would say. But I got Ju-On. We got One Missed Call. Because I had a friend that used to work with me when I worked in WWE that gave me the Ebola, the Ebola syndrome on VHS that you still have.
Yeah, it's behind me. Yeah.
And that thing is a collector's item because you cannot find that now.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so back to this.
Okay.
All right, so the night, Marty says the night comes for us. Awesome. Yes. Another eco
waste.
Him.
I think both Eco Waste and Tony Jai, if I'm not mistaken, were both in The Night Comes From Us.
Yes. And I meant 3 questions answered by Michael Ironside. Oh, I thought you meant me. Well, I'm not Michael Ironside yet. Yes, Chinatown, great deals. And the double feature also says, yes, Chinatown and all the suits. Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Professor Macabro says, oh, those Tartan Asia Extreme DVDs are also a pain to collect. But I love when I come across one. When I come across one. I do too. Let's see. Oh, Lady Shasha could have used celebs. Invite them. Try, please. Celebs.
I'm so nervous to try to ask them because I'm nobody.
Well, okay. Isn't Tom Baker a celeb?
It sounds like a celebrity.
Who's the one that did all the makeup? I said, who did all the makeup for wasn't there a Baker that did all the makeup for horror movies?
Oh, you're thinking of oh God, why am I? It's the first. His last name is Baker that did the creature effects for American Werewolf in London. Why am I? Rick Baker. Rick Baker also did the creature effects for Thriller and a lot of other movies. I think he did Harry and the Hendersons. He's got a huge.
How do you know that Tom? How do you know that Tom is not his nom de plume?
Oh,
or his nom de plume?
I don't know. Tom says Patrick's Will Cheetah guests are getting better. Yeah, but Patrick is a very good interviewer, though. I'm not as confident in my interviewing skills just yet. I'm working my way up to it, though. Doctor Who as an actor has the same name. Interesting. All right, I'm going to do a little ad break, and then we're going to get into some more recent action movies that are even gorier than what we just showed for the 80s. So just give me a moment. Okay, and we're back. Let's get into it. We're gonna jump all the way up to what year was this? 2017, and this is a really, really short clip, but it came unexpected because I saw the title of this movie. It's called Brawl on Cell Block 99, but I was not expecting this to happen. Check this out.
Do what I say or I'll kill him.
Oh God, it's still hard to watch.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And then look at this. I was not expecting that in this movie, but it was a welcome surprise.
That was probably the only scene I remember in this whole movie because I think I fell asleep on it.
True. It was really slow until he got to the actual prison. Professor's one recent one I liked that was bloody good time was Boy Kills World. Great fight scenes. Yeah, that's on my watch list. And lots of violence. Tom Baker says, no, these old actors and directors go on chats. It's not only Patrick's channel. Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
that man is already gone. Mm-hmm.
Boy Kills World. I started watching that a while ago.
Where did you find it? I put it on.
Huh?
I put it on my watch list because it wasn't streaming anywhere. Is it streaming now, or did you go to your kayfabe sites?
Kayfabe site.
Okay.
It was a while ago. Yeah. I did watch it.
Mm-hmm. Foe says that man's already gone. Chad says Dragged Across Concrete and Bone Tomahawk from the same director. Yes, Bone Tomahawk was really good. I have not seen Dragged Across the Concrete just yet, but I really did enjoy Bone Tomahawk. I do have a review of that. I reviewed it with is it called The Shadow something? It's the Wesley. No, not The Shadow Strays. I reviewed Bone Tomahawk with a Wesley Snipes vampire cowboy movie. I reviewed those two together. Marty says, I love how Vince Vaughn sham-wowed that guy's face across the floor. Double Feature says, just watched Novocaine yesterday, and that has some pretty gruesome scenes. Oh, yes, there was one I was looking for, and it's not posted online anywhere. And I didn't want to have to rent the movie to get that, to show that one scene, but I will talk about it on this show a little bit later.
You could have asked me.
Oh, yeah, I could have asked you. Okay, here's the next one. That I think we should talk about, which you guys already peeped. It's Night Comes for Us, but I actually selected two different scenes. Yes, Gallows Walkers.
Oh.
Yeah, this one in this meatpacking place is just. Also, notice the camera work because the cameraman has to be able to move around these scenes, and it's like really, really expertly done. Look at that. This is an action movie. This is not a horror movie, but it's horrific. Oh, jeez. Oh. Blades always get me. There's something about blades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's done. He sold it. Shout out to that actor for selling that. Actor, stuntman, both. Check this out. Look, watch what happens. Look at this bone.
You made me want to watch this movie again.
It was that good. Okay, so then
I know.
Yeah, he used the bone to protect him from his saw. Oh my God, that's nerve-wracking.
Like the sound?
Oh, right in the leg. You see this? Oh, man.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, look at the bone. Right.
This is great. Bone. That's Joe Tran, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name another movie he was in?
Well, I was just about to pull it up. I want to say he was in one of these Raid movies or both.
He was. He was in the Raid Redemption.
Mm-hmm. I have not seen Ravenous, but I would like to see Ravenous. It's going on the watch list. The Raid makes a great double feature. Watch Carl Urban. Yes, the Raid and we actually did it one time. We watched the Dread with Carl Urban. That was real good. It's underrated. Dread, definitely.
Yeah.
And I have another scene from The Night Comes From Us that's even. It's not more gory, but it's like more difficult to watch for me because of the injuries.
I love a good arm snapping.
This is all from The Night Comes For Us. And these two ladies, oh my god, they did an amazing job. But watch this. Just to show you how hard she is. Her finger has been lacerated. She just gonna snap it off because it's in the way. Like, oh my god. See, that should let you know she's as crazy as you. Oh, she sliced you. I forgot about that part. Look, her guts are hanging out. You would think the fight would end here, right? You would think
by the way, do you know where she's from? Can you guess what movie she was in?
No.
She was in the Ray Redemption 2. She was Hammer Girl.
Look at that! Oh my god! See this? That is hardcore. That is hardcore. I'm sorry.
She was that was Hammer Girl, I believe, in from the Raid 2.
Oh, I remember Hammer Girl. Oh, here's one of your movies Marty's talking about. Sisu is awesome. Recent gory action flick, World War II movies with the air of a spaghetti western. When Sisu tosses an anti-tank mine into a Nazi's head and pop. Yeah, I did see Sisu. Oh, Kubrick lovers in the house. He says, "Hey, Lady Shasha." Dole Feeder says, "Oh my god, not snapping a finger." Yeah, and it got progressively worse. I should have warned y'all. I did towards the beginning of this say that it was going to be pretty gory. Professor says, and I double checked, Lady Shasha. Boy Kills World is on Prime, not Max. Okay, good. I have Prime. Dole Feeder says, "Oh my god, what movie is this with the women?" It's also called The Night Comes For Us, and if I'm not mistaken, it's on Netflix. When we watched it, it was on Netflix. I think it was also available on Shudder. Tom says the final scene in Scarface. Say hello to my little friend. Yes.
There is I don't know if these are fan made, maybe, but I'm looking at the people from these movies.
Yeah.
And apparently there's the Raid 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's directed by Gareth Evans. You know who Gareth Evans is?
The name sounds familiar.
He directed the Raid 2, but he also did a hell of a lot of comics. He did he did what the fuck is that? With Homelander. It's on the tip of my tongue. He did The Boys. Yep.
Okay. All right. And for our next one, I forgot to mention that The Night Comes From Us is an Indonesian action movie.
Yes.
And they typically do an awesome job in Indonesia. My next one is a co-production between France and Thailand. Also amazing. This is a elevator fight. The movie is called Farang, but the English title is Mayhem. Now, if you think a hallway fight is hard to play, how hard is an elevator fight? And this is not the violent part of this film. Like, this is at almost a midpoint, maybe towards the end of the film, but the end, the last final fight. You want to talk about gory and violent? Oh, this is nothing compared to that final fight.
This.
crazy how you like I don't know what's gonna happen. I still have a visceral reaction to this.
Blast in his face.
Yeah, oh god, that bothers me every time. The blade through the arm. Anything with blade. Oh god, he gonna push it further through his arm to get to the dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This he pulls a knife up and he's staring at her. This now, remember how he saw these? These next two movies that you're talking about, that I think that you're going to talk about, were the ones I kept finding because people kept saying, "Oh, if you like John Wick, you'll like this one and this one." And I just kept looking and they called this one, I think this was something John Wick, and then the next one is like, they're all like, but these movies are badass. I don't care. Yeah. These are the kind of action movies I like.
Chad says, have you seen Headshot with Equal Waste?
Yes.
I don't think I've seen Headshot yet.
I have.
Brian is in the house. He says, what it do? Hey, Brian. Marty says, have you seen Neil Blomkamp's Elysium? That's the one where they had to go up in space to get healthcare. I think that's what it was.
I've seen it several times.
Yeah. Shelton Copley has his face blown off in a close-up scene with a grenade, and some poor fucker is bisected with a rail gun.
Yeah.
Kubrick Lover says, this is making me think of John Woo films like The Killer and Hard Boiled, which choreography blows me away. Yes.
You saw Hard Boiled.
Do you
remember it?
No, actually, I don't.
The babies. Remember when they had the hospital scene? They were trying to get the babies out of the building.
Yeah. Okay.
It was Hard Boiled. Jeez, or The Killer. One of those.
Kubrick says, I don't know if they are incredibly gory. I don't remember them being very gory. They aren't playing with these knives, not at all. It's showing you real carnage of what would happen. Like a lot of Hollywood movies, they show these action scenes, but they don't show what would actually happen to the human body if you did these things to it. Professor says, I'm pretty sure that would cause some severe nerve damage. Oh, who are you telling? He's not going to be able to grip a baseball. OMG, this is crazy. Kruger says, vomit and poop is a little more hard to watch than gore for the most part. Like Salo. Yeah, the scene with the bowls and Salo. Oh, I don't think you would make it through it, Tony, man.
Right.
Excrement scenes. Marty says, Tony, man, I think you're confusing director Garth Evans with Garth Ennis, the comic writer of The Boys.
He's right. He's right.
A load of Punisher comics. Yep.
I did.
Tom Baker says, Planet Terror 2007, his balls came off. Yes. His balls started when he stopped using that inhalant, Tarantino's character, and his balls just started kind of falling off his body. Ninja Assassin is a great modern ninja revenge flick. Yes. Okay, where did I leave off?
With your boy Rain.
Yes, yeah. We go way back with Rain. Rain is coming down and it don't. So y'all don't know when Rain was a K-pop idol in 2005. That was before. So the next one, we're going to India. Now, this one came on our radar because it was touted as the most violent action film that has ever been made in India. And it is called Kill.
Hold on. Let me preface this. Let me preface this. And if you guys end up watching it, the very beginning, there's a little bit of violence, but it just goes off the rails like halfway through. And it just gets this. It goes from hitting the head with like a fire extinguisher to this.
Yeah, what happens is I noticed the first 45 minutes plays out like a regular action movie where this guy is on a train, his fiance is abducted, and her life is ended by the villains. And at first it's more of a I don't know how to describe, like a Jason Bourne type of, we're gonna, punch fight and that's it. But once his fiance passes away, you get the title card and it says kill, and then suddenly it stops being one of those type of action flicks and turns into one of the action flicks that I just recently showed you, like Mayhem. And you'll see. I Frankenstein a few clips together to show a little bit of the progression, but I did not show the ending. Okay. There's a couple more comments here. Okay. Marty says the next movie Evan is doing is called Havoc, where Tom Hardy is a crooked cop and he's blackmailed by Forrest Whitaker into protecting his gangster son who has a bounty put out on him. And then Kubrick Lover says Texas Chainsaw Massacre has Leatherface put a woman on a hook, but you don't see the hook go into the woman's flesh. Yeah. We loved Kill. It was also very emotional. Yes, it was, because it took time for you to get to know the characters and care about them. So when that eventually happens, you feel something. Kubrick Lover says, or Scarface when they're using the chain. Yes, the chainsaw in the bathroom. I forgot about that. All you see is the blood hitting Al Pacino. You don't see the chainsaw cutting the guy next to him. But your mind does the work for you in those instances.
I just remember that. I remember Scarface. We watched it on VHS because it was a double VHS. And I just remember what's his face being hung from the helicopter. You can see the body hanging from the helicopter as the helicopter's going by. Okay, I digress. I don't remember
the helicopter scene. All right,
really?
No, I don't remember. I remember I take all your bullets when he was getting shot. I remember him being mad because his sister got with his best friend, but he didn't realize that she had married him. And it was, I think I was more into the drama of it than even the violence of Scarface. And then have you ever seen the original Scarface from, I want to say it's 1930s, but it might be 1940s?
No.
Which is, you have to watch it. It's a gangster movie. It takes place in Chicago. And these Scarface movies are actually, if I'm not mistaken, based off of Al Capone. So the first Scarface movie was like a gangster movie from the 30s. So when they made Scarface in the 80s, they changed it from Chicago to Miami and changed it from Italian gangsters to Cuban gangsters. Still played by an Italian because that's Al Pacino, which is hilarious. Okay, let's get into Kill. Now you see, that's not so bad. Oh, and I forgot to mention it's the whole movie takes place on a train. Now these are the villains. The villains are doing this to people on the train, and they're showing you this so you can see how, like what I just said about Invasion USA. You gotta show how evil the villains are, so that when the hero does what he does for it. Now that was a teenager. These are teenagers. And then
this is horrible. How you didn't show the scene?
Now you see. Well, this is only 40. This is the 45-minute mark. This is before the title card pops up.
And he did it 3 times.
Yeah.
And then I think he throws her off the train.
It's overkill. Then he throws her.
Yeah, off the train.
And this is when the movie changes. And then you get the title card. Kill. He's that, and then what happened? Now it's different. No more fist fighting. Oh, please.
Then he wiggles a knife.
You're forgetting. I'll show you what my favorite part is coming up, but this is just a lot of twisting knives. Nothing. Oh, and also his characters. It was the fire. He gave him that irreversible. Shout out to India. This movie is it's in Hindi language, but I believe we watched it with dub. I don't think it was a subtitle or was it dub? It was subtitle.
Subtitle.
Now that was his best friend. They did that to his best friend. Oh, Oh, I love what happens to this guy. This guy is the father of the villains. Now check this out. Look at that! I stopped my hand. But he deserved it. He was so evil.
All right, the CGI fire was a little bit.
The CGI fire wasn't great, but it's a badass movie on a train.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Chaz was asking.
No, you got to go. You got to go up. We have a lot.
Yeah. Oh, we have a lot. Okay, let me take this down.
Yeah.
Go up.
After Kubrick Lover Scarface.
Here we go.
I remember
Bronson with Tom Hardy was a good flick with good violent scenes. I haven't seen that one. And this stream's background reminds me of Scarface. Yeah, well, we're in Florida, so I wanted to give like that kind of Florida theme. And also, since we talk so much about 80s movies, I wanted to give it like an 80s feel. So that's why I made that background like that.
That's right.
Very much so. Kubrick says, like the F. Murray Abraham scene where he's hanging. Oh, that's what you were talking about, the helicopter.
Exactly.
Scene. I have the original Scarface, but haven't seen it yet. You got to watch it. Top of the world, ma. That's one of the quotes. The original was also great, ahead of its time. Yes. What movie is it? Oh, yeah. And it's Kill. And then Professor Macabre says, so much stabby going on in the scene. Ghostface would be most proud. Yes. Really was a great movie, Kill. It really was. A very, very good movie. Okay, the next one I have, this scene is going to be a little bit longer than the rest because it's just so freaking good.
Kubrick Lover corrected you, by the way. Top of the World, Mom, is from White Heat.
Oh, sorry.
Made it, Ma. Top of the World.
I'm confusing my 1930s and 40s movies, which I can never remember whether they're 30s or 40s. That era always like goes together in my mind. It's hard for me to tell the difference between a 30s movie and a 40s movie. But this one's called The Shadow Strays, and The Shadow Strays is co-production between Indonesia and the USA. And The Shadow Strays is about, well, I'll let the reveal happen before I tell you what it's about because it's amazing. Now, it being from Indonesia, the scene opens up actually in Japan because there's some beefing going on between two, I'll call them factions. And so you'll see what happens when they go into this Japanese, a section of this. I'm going to say he's like a crime lord or crime boss. It's his property, and you'll see. Those are his bodyguards. And so they thought that one of the assassins was hiding inside of one of his Shogun costumes that he has on display. And this was also on Netflix. So shout out to the kids that are going to stumble onto these classics on streaming, whether it's Netflix or whether it's Hulu or my fave, Tubi.
Yeah, I'm just watching the stream, sorry. It's a great movie.
It is. The choreography was pretty good. Again, I always have to give it up to the camera work because people don't give enough credit to the camera work and the editing.
Yeah, pause that for a second. Can you pause?
Yep.
Okay. Double feature. It's called The Shadow Strays on Netflix. All right, continue on.
The Shadow Strays. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yes. gosh. The only thing that gets me is a lot of times they always wait their turn to attack. And I think it's more dynamic when they all attack at one time. But with blades, I can see why they slowed down some of the action to prevent injury.
Maybe it's like check playing your attack. Oh.
That's the person that's they're trying to save. Oops. But she should have ran. Like, why are you still standing there while they fighting? She should have got the hell out of the room. Now that's an edit I had to put in there because there's a clip which wasn't good. That's why it's something like that.
It's like another John.
Look at that. That was dope, the way they did that with the issue. I gotta pause it. It rewound instead of
right there.
Let me see if right here or right. Yeah, it was right there. I have to rewind it to address a couple comments. Professor Silly Guards again. Only a ninja can destroy a ninja. It's why I always pick Scorpion when fighting Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat. Kubrick says that's why I like Jackie Chan. He fights more than one guy at once, whereas Bruce Lee, each guy waits to fight him. Tom says, I prefer action without people making loud noises, more realistic. It depends, Tom, because in martial arts, people are trained to make noise when they fight. So that it is realistic if you if you studied martial arts. And I studied a couple of them. I started in Ketsuke, and then I did Aru Jiu-Jitsu, and then I did Taekwondo, and then I finally tried Kung Fu. But Kung Fu is the hardest. But you are trained to make noise when you strike. So for martial arts base, that is realistic. So not like wrestlers. Oh, okay. Well, I mean wrestling. You would be the expert on that, Tonyman. I'll let you take that. So Professor, some video game companies should make a Splinter Cell ninja game like this. It would sell like pancakes. I believe it. Cooper says, I like Bruce Lee though. Bruce Lee, I like more his charisma. I mean, we look at Bruce Lee through nostalgia goggles, and he absolutely is an icon. But fighting wise, I like Jackie Chan's style. But to be fair, Jackie Chan is doing more theatrical fighting and not what you would do in an actual real fight. There's a great documentary on Netflix that's about filming martial arts, and how when you film martial arts, you have to, it's more like a dance and not like if you were to watch competitive martial arts. I think that's I'm sorry I'm getting off on a tangent, but I think that's why some people are not as impressed when they're watching Cobra Kai, because Cobra Kai, some of the martial arts is filmed more like competitive martial arts rather than film martial arts. And that's what makes it low-key not as interesting to watch, but it's more realistic because the kids are supposed to be training for a competition. So they would do more competitive martial arts and not film style martial arts. Another fun fact, a lot of martial art films, they hire dancers to do the fight scenes because they can remember the choreography and their movements are more fluid. But let's get back into the Shadow Strays. Oh, that was a nail bomb. I forgot about that. That's gotta suck.
Yes.
I might jump forward a little bit. Yeah. As you can see, it's revealed that the ninja is a lady.
Into the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always thought was beautiful. Beheaded.
Now, mind you, this is just the opening of the movie. This is literally the first scene opening of the movie.
Yeah.
So that tells you exactly what you're dealing with. And also, let me end it on that shot right there. In this film, it explains why she's able to do what she's able to do. And that she comes from a group that's kind of, I would compare them to the Black Widows in Marvel movies.
Yeah, they're called their namesake. Their namesake is the movie.
Yeah, the Shadow Strays, and they're taken as little girls and trained, and then also given these enhancement drugs. So it's a little bit of a superhero thing in that they're given these drugs that enhance their body and skills and strength and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and but a lot of these movies, when we start watching them, it's always that whole, you've gone this far. Okay, now what? So, like when they load up like they do in the beginning right here, then you're going, oh, we're there already. So how far are we gonna go? And believe me, it goes pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always get how you have the and what's. Okay, so
yeah.
Now what? And that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And you have more. There you go.
Professor says the screaming is also a way to choreograph the action scenes. A certain scream means kick, another punch, and so on. That's very, very smart. Yeah. I've heard that some samurais were women in Japan. I wouldn't be surprised. I was going to mention Lady Snowblood. I was going to mention that. Professor says reminds me of Lady Snowblood. What was that scene the inspiration for the last scene for the first part of Kill Bill? This came out after Kill Bill. I think this scene from Kill Bill is inspired by older Japanese films from the 70s and 80s. I don't know which specific Japanese films, but I know I've seen some from the 70s and 80s, especially that excessive blood squirting out of the body. Very Japanese film.
By the way, fun fact, chat. Mm-hmm. I played the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of Shogun Assassin for Lady Shasha, and she was hooked. She wants to watch the rest of the movie now.
Yes. Mako Kaji was good in Lady Snowblood, and also the female prisoner Scorpion films. Very, very cool. I remember, I don't know what movie it was, but when I was a kid, there was a kung fu movie where the lady had razor blades in her hair and she was fighting and swinging her ponytail and cutting people with the razor blades. That was really cool. I have to find what movie that is. Double Feature says,
I don't know if that was a lady.
I thought it was a lady. But are you thinking of the other movie where the guy had the razor blades in his rice patty hat and he would throw his hat and decapitate people? That was another.
No, there was a dude. There was a dude with long hair that had razor blades at the bottom of his hair, and he would whip it around and cut people with it.
It's possible. It's possible that I was so little that I thought that it was a lady, just because mentally you think, oh, long hair, but because I was. When I say little, I'm talking kindergarten age. I have to go back and revisit these. Double Feature says we've added a couple to our watch list for tonight. Let's see if we can make it through. I only have 2 more left. Did you enjoy Lady Snowblood? They're asking. I didn't see Lady Snowblood. Did you see Lady Snowblood?
I saw bits and pieces of it, but we have to rewatch it so that you can give a review on it.
Mm-hmm. Shogun Assassin is good.
That's right.
Yes, I think they did get inspiration from Lady Snowblood for Kill Bill. Yes. Skipped one. The Street Fighter with Sonny Chiba was considered uber violent for its time. I believe it. And also, is it The Story of Ricky O? I think it's called The Story of Ricky O. That was pretty violent. Double feature podcast. Please watch Ravenous, 1999. Okay. I think Shogun Assassin is part of the Lone Wolf and Cub films.
It is.
Tom Baker says he saw it in the cinema. Talking about Ravenous, I believe he's talking about. And we'll add it. Lady Snowblood is very good, Kubrick says. And the Street Fighter trilogy with Sonny Chiba. Now, the next section that I want to get into, watch the first Street Fighter was, the next section I want to get into is how they have now started to put more violence and sometimes bloody violence into action comedies. Now I'm going to show you one scene from Love Hurts that I really love the choreography. I was looking for a scene where a person gets killed with a straw, but I couldn't find the scene where the guy gets killed with a straw. So please enjoy the choreography and comedy stylings of Ki Hu Kwan. And there's Tonyman, tell me which football player. I just thought that was really it was ridiculous, but it was fun. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on this movie because I think they didn't market it as well as they could have marketed it. And also, like I said, the most gory part I can't even show you because it's not available. They didn't release it as like like this. They released on YouTube as a scene to advertise for the movie, but they did not release the scene of a person getting killed with a straw.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Were you expecting that?
Not with the straw, but it had some realism to it. I think I'm confusing
it's the way the blood kept on coming out of the straw.
Yeah. But my favorite kill was the other one with the dude from Goonies. There was a cowboy.
Yeah, that's the one that was killed with a straw.
That's the one that was killed. Okay, I thought it was his brother.
No, that was Sean Astin.
Yeah,
it was his brother that killed Sean Astin.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome.
The subtext that is Sean Astin said he's like a brother to me, and so I think that's part of the reason why his actual brother killed him, because he's like, I'm his actual brother.
I never understood that. And I think this movie and Terrifier finally did something that were Terrifier 3 did something that was correct. And it's like, if you see someone, because they did it in the Commando, if you get a fucking lead pipe thrown through your chest, blood's going to come out of the lead pipe and drip onto the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I can't stand movies where they impale them with a tube and nothing comes out of the tube.
Well, it depends on how far if it's a complete impalement where it goes through the person's body, then blood wouldn't come through it. But if it's only like a,
you mean like Bennett?
Yeah,
like that was steam.
That was complete impalement. Like, people have survived being impaled in like car accidents and stuff. So I think it has to be more like a penetration, but not complete impalement. All right, so this is our last one, which again, I don't want to show the goriest scene in it because it's the last scene of the movie, and that's a complete spoiler. But I do think people slept a lot on Novocaine too, which also comedy action, but pretty gory.
That's right.
Also, I kind of don't.
Hey man, I don't want to fight. Okay, I'm not that guy. I just want to.
I should say that I slept on it too because I don't love what's his name, Jack Quaid. I don't love him as an actor. He plays the same character. And I think he's the least interesting part of the boys. Like, I almost wish they would. I wish they would kill him off. But the thing is,
you remember what I said about the boys?
He wasn't even supposed to play that character, Huey.
That was Simon Pegg.
Yeah, I would have preferred that. I would prefer.
Yeah, because if you read the comics, it looks like because if you read the comics, it looks like Simon Pegg does not look like Quaid at all.
And it should have been Simon Pegg. It should have been.
Oh boy, Huey.
I just think. Yeah, but here we go. Oh, I should also mention that his character is called Novocaine because he has a condition that does not allow him to feel pain, which is a real condition. I Googled it. And so he's able to do stuff without feeling pain. So just know that going into this scene.
Look out of my way. Move. You're fucking dead, you know.
Or Chad can go back and watch one of our first reviews of what we watched this weekend, because we did a whole review on this.
Oh yeah, we did. We did talk in depth about Novocaine.
Tony, please.
And I wrote a blog about it.
Oh yes, you wrote a review. Yeah, Tonyman wrote a review
so those are
that is
definitely
available
third degree, so you're gonna want to run it
on
under some cool.
whatdidijustwatch.com.
I'm not done with you. Okay, wait, hold on. Hurry! Look, I still feel like we can get what we want. Ah! Oh, you're strong! Ooh, I am so sorry. Hey, last chance. Tell me where she is.
Eat shit.
I just remembered I didn't have dinner. Now I'm hungry.
Wow.
Just I thought someone threw a cabbage.
The power of suggestion.
I gotta eat.
You don't have like a gluten thing, do you?
See, I would have taken that out of the script because it wasn't funny. And did anyone even laugh in the theater when he said that? I don't
No.
think so.
Yeah. Boom.
Now that's the
This is
first.
great.
Yeah, that was the first fight scene in Novocaine, and it just gets progressively more violent and bloody. And I was not expecting that in a action comedy at all. But I respect it. I like the practical effects.
But
and that condition where you don't feel pain is called congenital insensitivity to pain, or CIP. It's also called congenital insensitivity to pain and anhidrosis, CIPA.
I wonder if I have
so
that.
that is a real thing. And it's very difficult for children to grow up with it because they can't feel if they've broken a bone or if they've been burned or anything like that. So,
and on a side note,
out
of all 8 of these movies that you've shown, I have been involved in 7 of them because I made you watch The Night Comes for Us, Mayhem, Kill, Shadow Strays, and Novocaine. And I'm the one that I got free tickets to go see Novocaine, and I think I got free tickets to go see Love Hurts. But I didn't really want to see it.
You got us into the screeners.
Yes, screeners. Yeah. But I didn't want to go see Love Hurts because I know your sister was talking about how she really wanted to see Love Hurts because she liked what's his name again?
Ki-Hu Kwan.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I let you guys go. But yeah, you're welcome. Because I like these. I'm more of a realism action movie type. Like I understand you're not gonna fight 50 people on one time, but like if you stab someone with a knife, you're gonna stab someone with a knife. Like I like more realistic stuff like that. Like I never really liked. And this is probably a unpopular opinion, but I didn't like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Crouching Tiger. I liked Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, but I also like the Shaw Brothers films. I like them running across roofs and standing on the limbs of trees that wouldn't bear their weight. It's very fantastical, but I like it. I like when 2 different clans fight and they jump on each other's shoulders. It's like also,
and you also like somebody kicking a missile.
Kicking what?
Or driving down a dam. Kicking a missile or driving down a dam.
Hey, listen. The Fast and Furious movies are about family. That's the most important thing is family. Let's look at some more comments before we get out of here. Where'd I leave off?
The fights.
Okay,
You're
Kubrick. Oh wait, nope. Yeah,
you're
higher.
Wow.
There we go. Straw double feature says a straw that's crazy work. Chaz Flick says Shogun Assassin is the American edited version of Lone Wolf and Cub. Oh, I didn't know that. Is there a way to watch Lone Wolf and Cub? Did you find out, Chaz? Or do you have to buy it as a physical media? Yeah, I
you
had
can
a
ask
copy of
me.
Shogun. Oh, did you know? Yeah, do you know?
I can probably find it.
Okay. Chaz. Oh, Kubrick is saying back to Chaz. Yeah, I had a copy of Shogun Assassin first before getting the Lone Wolf and Cub box set. Oh, okay, so that answered my question. Professor Macabre says, "Don't fuck with Short Round." And Kubrick Lover says Temple of Doom.
Yes,
yeah,
he's correct.
Another one that could have been included on this list because when what's his name? Shakma or something. When he snatched the guy's heart out of his chest.
Kalima Shaktute.
Kalima, yeah.
Kalima Shaktute.
Yeah, that was also the first one when the Nazis' faces melted off. I saw that at the drive-in when I was like in first grade.
Yeah.
Double Feature says this looks like a fun film. Kubrick Lover says the fight scene is funny, ridiculous. This fight scene is funny, ridiculous.
No, they're talking about Love Hurts.
Yes. And Professor says I want to see Novocaine because I have a crush on Amber Midthunder. Yeah, I like her too. She did great in Prey. That was her that was in Prey, which was the I'm gonna call it a spinoff from Predator or a prequel to Predator, maybe.
Yes, Professor Macabre, you'll love her in this.
Double Feature says we really enjoyed Novocaine.
Yeah.
And Kubrick Lover says that makes me think of the Robert Carlyle Bond film with Pierce Brosnan, who played a character who felt no pain. Chaz says I gotta catch up with Novocaine and Love Hurts. And Kubrick Lover says I can't remember which Bond film it was. Maybe World Is Not Enough. I would have to ask my brother. He knows all the James Bond films. House MD had an episode of that condition where the girl can't feel pain, and apparently it sucks having that because she can't feel a fever or a torn injury. Yeah. Touch of Zen by King Hu I think looks like it might have had a heavy influence on Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Oh, that makes well, I know Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was supposed to be an homage to some of those earlier films, so definitely. Kubrick Lover answers the question. Lone Wolf Cub is on Criterion. And Chaz says, last I checked, Lone Wolf and Cub series is streaming on Max. Okay, there we go. Here we go. All right, so it is now 8:30, and I've got to get out of here because I have some stuff to help my sister set up with because my grandmother's 97th birthday is tomorrow. So we got to finish setting up stuff in the house. So as much as I
97, because I kept telling everybody, kept telling everybody it was 96. My bad.
No, it's going to be 97.
Now if you would like, before we get out, I can tell you my story real quick of what happened.
Okay.
All right. I'll do a real brief thing. So it's I usually ride my bike to work because it's only 5.5 miles away from my job, my house, my job. So, I get out of work today, and I go and I grab my bike. Now my tire is flat in the front, so I said, and I put a motor on, electric motor on the bike, so it goes like 35. Anyways, so I was like, my tire's flat. And I thought that one of the owners was playing a joke on me because they like to play practical jokes on people. Like if you're listening to music on the phone, to walk by and pause your music and stuff like that. So I thought that they did a practical joke on me. So I brought the bike into the shop, air in the tire, and I started going home. And as I was going home, I can feel the tire getting flatter and flatter. And I said, oh, shit. Nope. I think something happened. So I got halfway, like almost to the point. There's a spot where I take a bike path. It's a long bike path, and there's no phones. It's just a bike path. So right before there's a 7-Eleven. So I went to the air machine and I put my debit card in for $2. and I put air in the tire because I was like, you know what? Just get me to the end of the bike path. There's a target right there. I'll figure it out. Nope. I must have did something and made the hole bigger because as soon as I put the air in it, it got flat. So I was in limp mode down the bike path all by myself with a flat tire on the front. So I was only doing 5 miles an hour going down the bike path. Get to Target. I got to Target. When I got to Target doesn't have bike tubes anymore. They have bikes. They have seats. They have bike tubes and bike repair kits. So I had to get back on the bike and pedal boop, 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 across a big highway, 4 to go to Walmart to spend $4 on a tube to then take it to the next gas station and put the tube in and spend another $2 at the air pump to put air in the tire to get my ass home. That was my ride home. And the reason I didn't call any ride was because, to quote Defense, that point, did you go when you're too far to go back to the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
The point of no return? That's what I hit when I hit 7-Eleven. I was like, you know what? It's further for me to go back to work than it is to go straight home. So I was like, I'll just have to ride and risk it. And thank you, Lover. It was all right, though. I enjoyed it. I mean, you got to live a little. But that was my day. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No response? No.
Well, I was thinking, do you not have like a patch kit that you keep on your bike? I didn't before, but guess what? I have now. Oh, okay. I think you should.
Yeah, just not having it again.
If you have like a little thing, like a pouch thing that's on your bike, you should probably keep different things in it that you might need.
I was going so slow that elderly people on bicycles were going by me. They're like, "Oh, you look like you got a flat." I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And I just limp mode home. But I did see
because I think the last time is it harder to walk?
5 miles.
Because I haven't done this since I was a teenager when I used to get around everywhere on my bike. But if I got a flat, I just would walk my bike home rather than try to ride.
It's 5 miles. I'm walking 5 miles in 85-degree temperature. It's not happening.
Oh, yeah, the weather. Yeah, I think I was more used to it when I was young, only because I had to walk. I mean, this sounds like an old person story, but it's true. I had to walk 2 miles to school and 2 miles home because
up a hill.
Yeah, no, only one way uphill. It's only uphill towards the school, downhill coming home from school. So that's good. But in the small town that I lived in, you had to live beyond 2 miles away from the school in order to ride the school bus. So I lived right at the 2 mile marker. If I lived 1 block over, I would have been able to get on the school bus. And there were days like in the wintertime, because in Connecticut we get a lot of snow, I would walk over a couple blocks further away from the school and sneak onto the school bus because technically I wasn't supposed to be on there, but I would get on that school bus and still come to school. And
it's self-admission before we get off was the only time I've ever rode a bike with a flat tire, and it was actually 2 flat tires, and you'll understand you're there. Hey, Kubrick Lover lives in Connecticut. What part? Well, I want to know. But anyway, so then you would know too, Kubrick Lover. So I rode my sister's 10-speed from Hartford to Windsor Locks down Main Street to get a kiss on the cheek from a girl, only to turn around and pedal all the way back home.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done some funny stuff.
The farthest I rode my bike was probably from East Hartford to South Windsor. Yeah.
Kubrick Lover lives in Bethel. West Central Connecticut. Yeah.
Yep.
Go Huskies.
That's where we were for a while. And then I moved as an adult. I had an apartment in New Haven, which I liked a lot because New Haven is a little bit more fast paced than where I grew up. There's no corn. I didn't see any cornfields in New Haven, so that was cool.
No. I like New Haven just because you could take the Metro North into the city. That was it. Like New Haven was, to me, it was better than Hartford because I grew up in Hartford. And, But
Yeah, Hartford is like a city that doesn't want to be a city because like the restaurants close at 5 o'clock. They don't really have a mass transportation outside of buses, where it's like at least you can take the Metro North and New Haven. They also have a trolley that goes around the city, and then the buses as well. But in Hartford, it's only the city bus, and they run okay, but they're not as frequent or well scheduled as like the ones in New Haven.
Yeah, but I was going to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say Tom Baker said he rode his bicycle 10 miles to school in Brussels. Memories. Long time ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Brussels. See, I think that would be a different, like, I would like to ride my bike in Europe because of the view.
Not just the view, but I think it, at least it appears to me that people in cars respect bicycles a little bit more in Europe. Like, because there's a large bike culture, there's a lot of kids that ride their bikes to school. It's not as dangerous. Whereas it seems like, especially here in Florida, they don't look out. They don't look at on either side of the road for bicyclists. They don't even look out for people on motorcycles, honestly. That's why we don't have so many people here that would be like Orlando would be a great place to have a moped if drivers watched out for mopeds, but they don't. So it's very dangerous to have a moped unless you're right by the beach.
A lot of people, if you're not riding in a bike group, like a motorcycle group, like, you know, a big posse riding motorcycles, I see a lot of people taking their pickup trucks and putting the motorcycle on it to go to the beach, and then they will go up and down A1A. Yeah, but they don't want to drive on the highways because these people, a lot of touristy people, and they do not pay attention at all.
It's not the tourists, the locals too. I don't think the locals. And we've only recently got bike lanes. It's only been like almost 10 years since we got bike lanes.
And it still won't go on one.
Yeah, when we had bike lanes in Connecticut, like, 25 years ago. It's weird for them to just now have, and I'm not speaking for all of Florida, of course. I'm talking about specifically Central Florida. I can't speak for Northern Florida or for Miami like that. There's a lot of people, it seems. Keep pressing the second button. Anyway, a lot of people seem to have forgotten how to drive properly after lockdown. Yes, I think lockdown affected a lot of people's social skills, how they move around in the environment. I don't know how to correct that, but yeah, it had a big effect on people. Like a world pandemic is a traumatic experience, and we keep acting like we are not going through a traumatic experience or have been through a recently traumatic experience.
Two things to add to what you were just saying, both of you. What I have noticed is that people, I call them zombies now, because like if you're going down the bike path, there are people that will go walk or jog down the bike path, but they will be looking at their phone as they're walking or jogging. They're not even looking up. So I'm all like, coming up on your right, coming. Like I have to yell at them to pick up their head so that they can see me coming, because I'm going to run into them. They do that. And I actually saw one woman reading a book and jogging.
Oh, I don't know how you do that.
I don't know either.
Uncomfortable.
I don't understand it.
Uncomfortable.
But also, all I keep begging, because I did. If you remember, I did get hit by a car once.
I've been hit by cars too.
We have a lot of one lane, not one lane, but like 3-lane roads that go to the right or to the left. Like when you come out of a driveway of a grocery store, you're going right with the traffic or you're going left with the traffic. And what people do is they'll steadily just, if they're going, like they'll look the opposite way. They'll look, like if they're going right, they'll stay left because all the traffic's coming that way. But they never bother to look at least one time and glance to the opposite way to see if anybody's coming that way before they pull out. They just pull straight out. They look and then they go, and they never turn their head once. And I'm always like, turn your head, please turn your head. To the point where now I will either wait or I will go completely around everybody in the line to go around the back of the car back of the last car to go because people don't pay attention.
It's safer to do that. Fominky Latte has a little bit of reasoning. It says, yes, lockdown, when they were handing out driver's license without having to take the road test. Yeah, that's dangerous. But let me get out of here because I just noticed the time. It's 8:47. I was supposed to be out of here 17 minutes ago. All right. No, but we had a great conversation. I don't know what the show will be next week because this weekend, like I said, Grandma's birthday party, we're gonna try to make it to the theater to see Sinners, and I would also like to see The Ugly Stepsister.
I watched the trailer, by the way, so you don't have to show it.
Yeah. So
it looks interesting.
Hopefully we can come back and talk about those. If we get to watch something else, I'll let you know. We did this show this week because we didn't really get to watch much of anything last weekend. I watched a couple movies, but he didn't get to watch the same 2 movies I got to watch. So, and I forgot, Easter is Sunday. Oh my God. I was wondering, why can't I do something on Sunday? And I remembered Easter. That's why. That's why.
And by the way, if anybody in the chat or anybody that listens to this later on, if you have a suggestion of a movie or a question you want to ask, please leave it in the chat. Click the like, leave it in the chat. I'll answer your questions or whatever.
All right, let me get out of here for real. All right. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah.